Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Podghost.
Guys, today's episode, we thought, we've been really stuck onto the whole boxing theme, if you like, for the last couple of episodes that we've done. So we thought we'd keep the trend going for maybe one more episode.
Yeah, 100%.
So without further ado, we'd like to bring on Mr. CEO of Touch Gloves Boxing.
The paddest man on the planet.
The what?
The paddest.
I
You'll
like
get it
that.
when you introduce him, you know what I'm saying?
So
I
we'd like
thought
to
that myself, by the way.
You will find out.
Yeah.
So I'd like to call on to the show, Coach Suli.
Thank you very much, bros.
Suli?
That's my line, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but I just thought, because we're
trademarked
quite far
that,
from the
so,
table, I thought you ain't going to jump
He
over.
said he's trademarked.
Yeah.
So you got to be a bit careful with that.
Be careful.
Suli, thank you.
I appreciate it, man. I've been watching the podcast. They've been absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
Absolutely amazing. I remember we were talking about this
For months.
time.
For months.
And it's good to see that
Alhamdulillah, bro.
it's running smoothly, man. So, yeah, well done, guys. Great
Thank
work.
you.
Thank you very
brother.
much, man.
So, Suli, you know what, bro? First, obviously, we just want to say to you that the time right now is 10 o'clock, 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
on a weekday.
Yep.
Right? So thanks to the dedication you're showing.
Yeah,
is
100%,
real.
man.
All
So
good.
now we know you're a 30 guy, yeah? You're 30. So, Suli, before we start the podcast, we always like to say the start of your journey.
Yeah.
Because boxing's always been a big favorite. Like, you've loved boxing from the beginning, right? Since I've known you, you've always been a boxing fan. And I remember one day you just came up to me and said you want to start a boxing club.
Yeah.
I want to know how the whole brand of Touch Gloves Boxing started, where it started from,
Yeah.
and how it's going now. So you can start off with that, bro.
Well, the journey's been mad. I'll be honest with you, and you see me smiling because it's been 6 years since I've been running it.
Yeah.
And Alhamdulillah, every year I can honestly say it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. From my perspective, anyway.
Alhamdulillah.
Everyone's got a perspective on what they think is a success or what they think is big. Yeah. With me, I don't see it as big in the sense of financial. I don't see it big in the sense of followers or I don't work like that.
Yeah.
For me, big is how the people who I coach, the community around me, who's benefited from it.
No, yeah, 'cause
success
you help the
stories
kids a lot as well.
Yeah, success stories. So for me, from 2015 up until now, it's been absolutely a beautiful journey.
Alhamdulillah.
A lot of highs, a lot of lows as well. But I've enjoyed every minute, and I wouldn't change anything throughout that whole journey.
That's
It's
amazing,
mad.
man.
So, Suli, when did you wake up and think, you know what, I want to turn my passion into a living. I want to become a coach.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
coach children, or I want to be the next big thing, if you'd like. Because we live in a little community here,
Yeah, of
East
course.
London, where we're from. It's not something where it's not really a field where it's so many people doing it, you know. And I
It's
remember
more like people want to become the boxer, not the coach.
absolutely,
Yeah, 100%.
So when did that fire get into you? When did you feel like, nah, man, I need to do this?
Do you know what? It's a weird one, right? And obviously, you know me for time. I've always been a sports person.
Of course.
Even in college, I was studying sports and sports sciences and whatnot. But I just think my story in terms of how I got to where I got to now, it was never about becoming a boxing coach. It was never that. You know, I was always into boxing, but I was used to watch it, but I never had a plan of, I want to be a boxing coach. I want to be working with pros. I want to have my own club. I think by the grace of Allah, it just kind of just
Fell into place.
You know, it's just that organic thing.
Yeah, of course.
You know, when you're not pushing anything, it just kind of grows. Like, so for example, I think it was 2015. I organised a charity event.
Right.
And I'll be the first to say, and I think in 2015 I was the first guy to promote or organise
Yep.
the first YouTube fight, which was Adam Saleh against, at his time, was his manager Naz. So
Big up Nazizi.
Big up Naz,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
so I was actually the first person, because I actually saw Adam. I realised he's a bit of a boxer.
Yeah.
I said, listen, for a charity, let's raise a bit of awareness, get in the ring, right, show off your skills, and just have a little move around with Naz. And he goes, all right, cool. But they actually did let their hands go both ways.
Brilliant.
But
Brilliant.
you could see someone who's a boxer, someone who's not.
No,
but
of course, yeah.
credit to them both at the time, you know, It was mad. And we had about 400 to 500 young people at this event.
Yeah.
Where we just had an event recently, we had a 18, 20 foot ring in the middle of that, 400 people. And it was such an amazing, and from then I thought, wow, do you know what? This is amazing.
They've done very well, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, it done well. So basically from there, it was just like, I left it, didn't really think much of it. And then Barking Mosque, Al Medina Mosque got in touch with me a few months down the line. And they said, Suli, listen, we want you to do something at the mosque. We want boxing basically. We want someone to start engaging with our youngsters.
So when you did that event, you wasn't part of the mosque at that point?
I wasn't part of the mosque.
Okay.
They knew who I was,
Yeah, of course,
but I
yeah.
wasn't a part of the mosque.
And was touch glove boxing around
Touch
then?
glove boxing wasn't around then as well.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
It wasn't around then.
I said wow because I actually forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I knew at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it wasn't.
No, it
touch glove
wasn't.
boxing
It
at
wasn't.
the
It
time.
was just something that I
You just did
that I did, and so when he got in touch, I thought to myself, do you know what? It's an opportunity. I thought I've got an opportunity here now. Let me go with it.
Yeah, of course.
So we spoke, we sat down, and I just said, listen, you want me to come in and do it? Fantastic. I'm more than happy to do it, but just let me run it.
Yeah.
Let me
Do it your
Let
way.
me just run it the way I got to run it. Obviously, I'll run things by you because you know, I've got a platform now where I can start doing something. And then they just gave it. They just basically said, yeah, do you know what? So from then onwards, it was just about setting up classes, branding it. I didn't even have a name at the time. Trust me, the amount of
I
logos.
love the branding now. I keep saying I want to get a t-shirt and that,
The
but
amount.
I ain't got no response.
You ain't gonna get one either.
I'll make you one.
Yeah. But so I was thinking of names. I was doing logos.
Yeah.
They were horrendous. They were just like, oh my, what shit is this? If I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
And then, believe it or not, I was in the car, I was thinking of ideas and names, and then my wife goes, "What about touch gloves boxing?" And I looked, I said, "You've got it." So I was like,
So it was an instant thing, innit, bro?
Yeah.
You knew this is the one.
yeah, the missus just kind of popped out with this, and I thought,
So all
wow.
credit to the missus.
Missus, yeah, 100%.
So technically, she's the owner of
Yeah,
it.
she's the owner, yeah.
Technically.
We'll have to give her
As
a
long as
shout.
we stay together, we're
No,
all right.
yeah.
So yeah, so she actually gave the name, and then it just kind of like got from one thing to another. But even before that, I was also thinking of something to do as a, like a side hustle, or not even a side hustle, just something to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Because my situation, even before this, financially was very difficult. A lot of family issues, a lot of financially as well. I had a child and all sorts. And where you just got the one day job, a 9 to 5, you're always struggling as well in terms of like the wife wasn't working, she was at home, she was looking after the kids and whatnot. So things just kind of came together organically, man. And it just kind of like the boxing came, and I just put 100% into it. Even now, my energy from then until now is not changed. If not, it's more.
Yeah.
If not, it's more. Because I tell you what, when your back is against the wall, the only place you can go is forward.
Of course.
You can't go anywhere else. Yeah. So, 100%. That was what it was. Just tunnel vision, grafting, working hard, and just putting in that work.
That's amazing, man. Yeah.
So you touched upon obviously for people that are watching and stuff, you touched upon it's like hard beginnings.
Yeah.
We want to elaborate on that a little bit, if you don't mind, and ask you, what sort of struggles did you overcome to start this whole branding and start this whole business?
Yeah, do you know what it is? Everyone's obviously got a story, and I think everyone's story you can relate to, but not everyone's story is obviously the same.
Of course.
Because Allah tests us in different ways, right? So what I might be testing, someone else might be having that issue, but for them it's like water off a duck's back.
That's it, yeah, of course.
But then they would be faced with another kind of test.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But that test might not be for someone else. Everyone's different tests. Everyone's
100%,
levels are
yeah.
different. So for me, alhamdulillah, it weren't none of this like gang stuff, nothing like that. Alhamdulillah, my mum and dad, absolutely amazing parents, love them to
Alhamdulillah,
bits.
beautiful people.
They did so much, or they do so much even now. Like they did so much for me when I was young, and even like we know how hard our parents work. So for me at the time, even at college, GCSEs, I didn't get the greatest results. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I weren't the brightest. cream in the pack, if you want to call it that, right? Went to
I can
college.
tell.
Yeah, went to college.
I ain't even gonna say that. I got
Went to
cussed last
college.
time.
Yeah, went to college. Put my head down. Got on with it, bits and pieces. And there was a time, you just get that feeling when you come back from college, and like you can sense that there's a bit of tension in the home.
Of course, yeah.
And that's because maybe dad ain't making ends meet. He's working hard. It's very difficult for him. And I felt that. Yeah, I felt that really. And I was like, I'm going to college. I'm coming back. And there was a time I finished college, and I had to go to university. And my dad at the time, he was working. My dad's a chef. Well, he's a retired chef now. He cooked for my wedding as well.
Man.
So I saved about 3 bags. Yeah. But I remember at the time, like, it was a bit difficult for him. And I was going to university, and with university, you're traveling. It's all money. I'm not
The
working.
fees are
Yeah,
insane.
fees
I'm
bro.
not working.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
know
got
what
a
I'm
lot worse now, bro, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah. And I just said to my dad, you know what? I'm not going to go uni. And parents as they are, they go, don't be stupid. Like, go and do your thing.
Oh.
Yeah, go and do your thing. Just go university, do what you got to do.
No, on top of that, they're still thinking, I know financially
Yeah,
stuff might
yeah,
be
yeah,
hard, but
yeah.
you're my son. I want to set a bright future for you as well.
And my thing was always sports related.
Yeah.
And this shows you how things come back full circle. So I was studying sports science at the time.
Yeah.
And then I could just, like I said, tell there was issues, right? So what I did was, for my first semester, I took out a student loan. I took about $3,000 out, right?
Yeah.
I left uni. I gave my dad $3,000.
Okay.
I said, Dad, here, look, take the money. And he's like, will you do that? I was like, no, that's mine, ain't it? When I start working,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
it's all good. Don't worry. So I took the money, gave it to my dad. I said, look, if that helps for now, crack on, do your thing. Got a job, for a year, and then just started working. Found another job, working again 9 to 5 and whatever. And for me, like, I'll be honest with you, even like whenever I got paid, I didn't even see a debit card. I gave it to my dad.
Wow.
That's how I was.
Yeah, of
I was
course.
like, Dad, here's a debit card. Just take what you want. If I needed something, he'll say, look, go and we'll get whatever you need.
Of course,
But
yeah.
it wasn't me, I'm going to work now. I'm going to go and buy some nice clothes. I'm going to buy some nice trainers. I'm going to buy a car.
You was
whatever
only
it is.
thinking about your parents.
For me, it was
Yeah.
work, come home, chill. It was calm. I was with my boys. My boys were always with me. We were chilling.
Yeah.
And my boys are calm. We were home people. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? They'll
Yeah.
come to my house. They know who my parents are. I'll go to their house. They'll know who their parents are.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? That's the friendship that I had with my people. Yeah, not going out and my parents not knowing who's who.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we had that relationship. But then, like I said, it was just all about, when I was working, it was just about work, coming home, helping out with the family. And that's how it grew. And obviously then I got married. And then that's another chapter as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
We're going to come to that, bro. We've got time. Don't worry about that.
It's mad.
We're
So
getting
yeah, so home, like, my parents, as many of they work really hard. My dad, I remember, as a chef, he used to leave home about 11, 12 o'clock. I used to go and get the Mr. Muscle out of the cupboard, and he used to spray his shoes. He had all the arda and stuff on his shoes,
yeah.
He goes, go and clean my shoes, hurry up, I got to go to work. Forget polish, bruv, Mr. Muscle, bang, straight, Mr. Sheen. Polish the shoes, he's out the door. He's not back until like 1, 2 in the morning.
Wow,
Do you know what I'm saying? Mum
Long
was
shift.
at home, alhamdulillah, mum was calm, beautiful, all of that stuff. So, but in a way, upbringing was amazing. I've got 2 older brothers, younger sister.
Yeah.
Yazz has met my brothers, they're all jokers,
Amazing joke.
you know.
They're
Yeah.
jokers, bro.
I met his older brother at the TGB event that we held, the charity
We're going
one.
to come on to that event as well,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of chapters we need to cover.
100%. But he's very funny.
Oh.
Very funny.
Yeah.
They're
So
all-
that
they're all clowns.
So that kind of started the, just like in my early teens.
Yeah.
Early teens, moving on to late teens, should I say? And just like from there, married and then bits and pieces going on and stuff. And so the boxing just kind of elevated from there.
Amazing, bro. I've got to say, bro, I've admired your whole journey, bro, and I've been a part of it for a good part of 2 decades now.
Long time.
Wow.
And in that time, I've seen Suli grow like mad, and even now, like, watching his movement, seeing him on TV now, and I'm like, I can't believe it's that same guy. You know what I mean? Even though it sounds like, he's my mate and I'm just bigging him up.
Yeah.
But the truth is, bro, it's an absolute success story, and becoming the man you become, not just as a father and amazing husband, a son. It's more what you've done for the community.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the biggest things that you've done, and honestly, it makes me feel deep, because the amount of time you've given back, I feel like there's like a burning, like a desire in you that I want to give back to community, man.
Yeah.
I need to. It's my duty. And I find that the deepest thing that you probably do. The time you put into little kids and little children. And
Definitely, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Always,
Like, bro, the amount of
these
calls I get
classes.
from people even today are, bro, can Suli, teach my son how to box? And I'm calling you like regularly. Suli, and I want to know where that's come from. Because the amount of time you put in, I don't think people quite understand how much time you put in. It's one thing saying it, there's one thing doing it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, a typical day is doing a 9 to 5, coming home, seeing my kids and my missus for about an hour, and then back out, and then from 6 till about late at night, 10, half 10. So half the time, I don't even put my kids to bed. My missus does.
Yeah.
So it's just like, as soon as I'm in, I'm straight out. I'm straight out. At the beginning, it wasn't even like that because I was only doing one class. It was just like a kids class when I set up.
Of course, yeah.
I had about 5 kids in there and three standing bags. I had 3 kids and I was doing like 1.5 hour sessions,
Yeah.
Charging stupid money, yeah. As in like dirt cheap. Yeah. So I thought, all right, cool, kids. So 1 week I'll have 5. Next minute I'll have 2. What's going on there? Next I'll have 10. Then it'll go back to like, it will always fluctuate, yeah? And a lot of people, what they don't realize is when you start something up, you're not going to reach 100 people.
Of course.
Turning up on the first day. You're not going to reach the big numbers, yeah? It's a slow, gradual process, and the work you put in is what you get out. So even though I was getting a bit peed off, it's like, oh, man, I've got 2 kids and I'm here for 1.5 hours.
Of course,
yeah? I was like, no. I said, these 2 kids have turned up, right? Their parents have taken time out to drop their kids to learn how to box or to do something positive.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them 1.5 hours.
That's
If
nice,
I've got 5, if I've got 1, even till this day, bro, I'll be honest with you, yeah. Since COVID, classes have like, now they're getting back up to speed.
Yeah.
But where I had a class of 25, 30, and now I've got maybe 5 or 10 or 5, like I still turn up, I still give the energy that I've got to give if I was 30, bro.
No, of course, yeah.
Because you have to do that. You have to do that. But then when I was doing the kids, alhamdulillah, the classes grew. I had to set up another kids class,
Alhamdulillah.
right? From there were parents come, do you do teenagers? I said, no, just kids. Oh, we need teenagers. I said, all right, cool. So I said to the masjid, you know what? I think we need to do another class. Can you sort out another time slot for me at the hall? They go, yeah, no problem. Started doing junior classes. Then the dads are like, bro, do you do men's? I was like, no, I don't do men's. They're like, no, you need to set men's up. They're like, ladies, do you do ladies? I was like, when is this going to... I didn't know it was going to snowball like that. Yeah? But now it's just like you run like 6, 7 classes a week and you've got men's, ladies, juniors, kids. On top of that, now you've got people asking for like client work, 1-to-1 sessions. On top of that, you're doing boot camps, you're doing workshops.
It's absolutely mental, bro.
So everything is very community orientated. And to be honest with you, being part of the masjid, right, it's helped so much because not only have they given me an opportunity to kind of showcase what I can do and given me that slot, right, but they've made sacrifices as well because money, the money the masjid makes is from donations. And Ramadan is obviously their biggest month where they make their money, right? We don't take lottery funding or anything like that. It's just pure donation policy, yeah? So for the mosque to give me more time to run classes and make sacrifices where people are calling up, offering to pay 1,500 quid to hire the hall, but they're knocking them back saying, no, we got a class that day.
Wow, yeah.
They could easily say to me, do you know what, Suli, do you know what, cancel the class this week.
Could we got something else?
It's going to be bringing good money into the mosque.
Of course.
No way, bro. Because they see the vision. They see how many young people now are coming, not only to boxing, but think about it, to the masjid.
100%.
To be in that environment. How many of our kids are so disengaged with the masjids?
No, you're right.
And why is that? Why is that? Is it because they're not English speaking imams? Is it because they're not from a household where Islam is a
fundamental.
Is a fundamental way of living or principle? Are they hanging about with the wrong people? So for me, when I get these youngsters in, and even adults, when I get these people in, I try to not give it the whole Islamic vibe. What I mean by that is, at the end or before, I don't give them talks.
Of course,
mashallah. I don't do that because you know what it is, bro? we need to get them in, and we don't want it to run out.
You want it
don't
to
wanna-
naturally come
You don't
in.
want to. You don't want to scare them.
Yeah, of
because
course.
what happens is if they're hearing it from their mum or their dad, or they're at the madrasa every day, and their friends are not around that environment.
Yeah.
When you bring them in, they want to learn how to box, and then you're giving them constant talks about Islam. They're the ones that you want to keep. So by doing that, slowly,
Yeah,
when it's
that's
time
it,
to
yeah.
salah, don't worry, we'll pray. You don't have to pray, but 9 times out of 10 they do. Even if they don't know how to make wudu, they'll pray because they don't want to be the odd one out sitting.
Of course,
Do you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, 100%.
So in that aspect, we're still giving dawah,
Mm-hmm.
we're still promoting Islam, but we're not actually, constantly at them.
I feel like in
You
a
know.
way you're doing it in a way where boxing, you're also teaching them discipline.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, right, you had your time at school with your friends.
Yeah.
You've come here now for a class. You've done your training session.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm about to pray. You might as well jump in.
Yeah.
And kids now will start saying, you know what? I've done everything I need to do. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Or why shouldn't I? And that's what I meant by you're slowly and naturally putting
Yeah.
it into them.
They'll-
Because at home, you don't want to get forced into it.
Of
When someone says,
course.
oh yeah, go home,
Well
you've got to pray
said.
your Quran. It's like you're praying it, but you're praying it with the fact of like, when's this going to finish? But when it comes to you naturally, it means a bit more.
I've got exactly what you mean, man.
When
100%.
they're in that environment,
Yeah.
right, naturally they'll see it.
That's
You
it.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's just like with anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when you're with friends and you have peer pressure,
That's it.
yeah, or they're going and they're smoking, or they're going or they're drinking, or they're going and taking drugs, or they're meeting up girls, and you're standing there. For the first few times you're with your boys, you're just going to be standing there. Then what's going to happen? You're going to be talking. Then what's going to happen? You're going to have your own girl. Then what's going to happen? So when you're in that environment, naturally things are going to progress
Of course, yeah.
either for the worse, or if you're in an environment like a masjid or a community centre associated with a masjid,
Yep.
it's going to naturally give them that thing of, yeah, do you know what? I'm just going to go and pray.
Yeah. No, and all props
what
to
I'm
you as well because you're also their coach. So they also look up to you at the same time.
Of
as
course,
well.
like
This
a
guy's
teacher, isn't
teaching
it?
me, innit?
Yeah, of course.
I do a lot of mentoring as well. So
Alhamdulillah,
even the
yeah.
volunteers I've got, they're like my students. But what I do is I speak to their parents. I say, listen, I coach kids younger than your child. Your child's teenagers. I said, I want them to coach the younger kids, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to pay for their fee. Don't worry. When it's their class, it's free. But all I want is 1 hour of their time helping me. Because what that does is that instills discipline for them teenagers.
100%,
Right?
yeah.
They are responsible. Yeah. They're learning responsibility
Yeah.
to conduct themselves in a good manner.
Yeah.
Toning down their language because they're in front of younger kids.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. That's
That's
exactly
brilliant,
what
man,
it's all
yeah.
about. So it's like we do mentoring, we have kids that are slightly off the rails,
Yeah.
but we get them into
Try
something
to bring them
positive.
back in, innit? Yeah,
Absolutely,
of
man.
course, yeah.
Absolutely. So that's the kind of environment that I want, that I want within our boxing community that we've
No,
got
of course,
running.
yeah, exactly.
100%.
But that's what with continuing with that as well is you said you have kids that are obviously a bit off the rail and stuff like that, but because you're doing it with boxing,
Yeah.
it's something that boxing is quite big now. Everyone wants to do boxing.
Yeah, it's true.
And it doesn't mean that you have to become a boxer after it. It's just for self-defense as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I really respect that you do kids, women, children,
I think
everyone, innit?
sorts, yeah,
my,
of
my
course.
opinion is that every person,
Yeah.
regardless of age, should learn some kind of self-defense,
100%,
whether it be
yeah.
boxing, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is. One is good for your health anyway.
Yeah.
You can strengthen yourself, keep yourself fit and healthy. But you're learning a skill where if you are in a position to defend yourself or your family,
Yeah.
you're confident enough to say, do you know what? I've tried everything to make this situation the last situation to ever happen. But if it comes to it, I can deal with it. And I'm confident enough to do what I need to do to get out of the situation. That's
Yeah,
what it's all about. And that's discipline in itself as well. Not knowing that once you've hurt the individual and they're down, you don't just continuously, you've done what you've had to do, now just get out of the situation.
100%, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. So, Suli, obviously we were talking about touch gloves boxing, and what's the future for it? What do you want to achieve from this boxing club? What would you say in the next, say for instance, we sit here in the next, say what?
5 years.
5 years? What do you want to achieve from this club? How far do you want to go with it?
like I said, we're 6 years in.
Alhamdulillah.
I never had like official plan. Like in 6 years, I want to be doing X, Y, Z.
You never had
know
like
what
an
I'm saying?
end goal.
I never had the plan of I want to even be a professional boxing coach, which I am.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I never even remembered that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even something I was thinking I want to do that. But in 5 years' time, inshallah, I'll still be here. Don't worry,
Inshallah,
ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, of
Ain't
course.
going nowhere. I've got a few things in the pipeline.
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing more. But
Drop a few
what's the
exclusives,
pipeline,
man.
brother?
Come on.
no. I'm gonna keep the cards close to my chest on this one.
Let's open up your chest then.
But let's go. But no,
Alhamdulillah.
I've got we're having a few discussions at the moment.
Yeah.
And if they come through, inshallah, you'll definitely be hearing more about us, about TGB and what we do. But the ultimate goal is still keep it community focused, keep getting these youngsters in, assist them, help them, develop them, moving them on to amateurs if we can identify there's individuals there,
Yeah.
which I have seen a couple that I've pushed through to go and fight at amateur clubs, and also just still working that pro game, because I'm in the pro game at the moment, and it's a new experience for me, man.
That's exactly what I wanted to speak about.
Yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned that you're gone into professional side to it now.
Yeah.
How's that experience been, and how did that even come about as well?
It's mad because, again, going back to the youth work, I
Yeah.
used to get a lot of pro fighters coming in
Right.
to engage with the youngsters. So I had Conor Ben was one of my first fighters that came
Amazing.
in.
Big up Conor, man.
Yeah.
Awesome fighter.
Yeah.
So Conor came through, and he was actually sparring against a female fighter called Hannah Rankin, and Hannah Rankin is actually a world champion at this present moment. So big up Hannah as well. So Hamza Shiraz, who's the WBC silver champion,
Yeah.
he came down a few years ago,
Yeah.
done some work with the kids, came a couple to my boot camps as well.
Yep.
And then I think we had there was a charity event at the York Hall, a boxing event. I think Fusi was fighting Slim at the time.
Okay,
And
yep.
I met Hamza and his dad there. Right. So his dad invited me down. He said, "Look, whenever you're free, come down and do some pads with Hamza." So I was like, "All right, cool." So arranged the day. I went down, done some pads with Hamza, and it was the first time I put pads on for a pro fighter.
Wow.
I didn't really think much of it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the sense that I was just going to be pad work, right?
Yeah.
So I remember he done like 12 rounds on the pads with me, but he only had like a 30-second rest.
Wow. Okay.
Not even a minute.
Your hands must have been hurting.
Finished. Man. Finished.
Do you still feel the same pain today when you do the whole pad work?
To an extent.
Does it toughen your hands up or anything? I know because we obviously got the pads on, but
I think you get used to it now.
Yeah.
You get used to it. You get used to it. Yeah. You get used to it. If you know how to hold pads properly, you're all right. Yeah. If you're all over the place, then
that's why he's trademarked, innit? Paddest on the planet.
that's it. So no. So my way
It's
of
like, I don't give a drill.
my pad work
Yeah.
is slightly different to your conventional pad work. I mean, I can do the conventional,
Yeah.
but mine, I looked at a lot of work done by Floyd Mayweather Senior.
Right.
His mitt work, speed, combinations. So I do a lot of that. So when I do work with Hamza and other fighters that I work with, a lot of it I do about speed, combinations, counter punching, all of that kind of stuff. So his dad was very happy with the way I did pads with him. So he said, "Look, I know you're busy with your stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever you're free, we want you to get involved with Hamza as part of Team Shiraz, if you like."
Yeah.
So I remember I worked with him on 2 camps during COVID.
Okay, yeah.
So I worked 2 camps with him then, and then now obviously he's going over to America and he's training. Obviously I don't go to America because I've got other commitments here.
Right.
But when he comes back, I've got my license. I've been my pro license I've had for over a year now.
Amazing.
So I've been in the corner with him, working with him, and I learned so much as well. So for me, it's always an experience. So with his coach, Ricky Funes, who trains at a 10 Goose Gym, when they come over to the UK and they're training, or the last 2 weeks for a fight, I'm just sitting there watching, man. I just watch.
It's mad,
Now and
isn't it?
again,
Loads of experience, but you're still learning on the game, innit?
man.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is, bruv? The levels are different. Think about it. Come on, grassroots.
Of course, yeah.
Pro fighters. Like who
mad.
can say
Chalk
from
and cheese.
grassroots,
Yeah.
from pro fighters?
Yeah,
Like,
of
that's
course.
the jump I've made. It's not like in between amateurs. I've got my amateur
License
coaching
and all
badges
that.
and stuff.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
I never done amateurs. I never was an amateur coach.
Yeah.
It was grassroots. yeah, community centre,
Yeah.
yeah, Wembley Arena,
That is mental, isn't it? Look at the jump.
copper box,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing.
So I'm in the corner. I'm a second there as well. So you know, there to support head coach.
Yeah.
Whatever they need for the fight on the corner, I'm there. Umar Khan as well. I'm also one of his coaches. And my first actual full corner where I was the head trainer was with Umar, because his head coach is from Spain.
Okay.
And for some reason he couldn't make it to the fight.
Right.
So Umar's dad was like Suli, head coach
Wow.
for the day. And that was on BT Sport as well.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
for me, I was shitting it, man.
Yeah, I got gas when I saw you as well. I was like, oh, that's Sully. What's he doing on there?
I was shitting it. But you know what?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, it's a positive
Alhamdulillah.
thing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you guys see it, I don't see it.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
might sound a bit
Yeah,
like,
it's true, it's true.
Sully, leave it out, innit? But
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me, even with the boxing, bro, it's just like, it's normal.
Yeah, yeah,
For
of
me,
course,
it's
yeah.
like, I get out of bed, I'm a normal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See my kids, see the missus, go and do the boxing, come back home. Like, I don't see the hype around it.
Okay, yeah.
Does that
yeah.
make sense?
It's become a normal for you, like
it's
everyday
been normal,
thing.
and it's just like
Yeah.
I've never wanted it to. I never want it to like feel like that. I
Yeah.
want to just be like a normal guy.
You don't want it to feel like it's a
Yeah.
job or a chore for you.
Yeah.
Because do you know what it is? I think it's because you got love for the sport. So when
Yeah.
you get up and you go do these pad works and
Yeah, yeah,
everything,
yeah.
it's like, yeah, I enjoy doing this anyway. So
Yeah.
even if I wasn't doing it with the youngsters or with other people or professionally, you'd still probably be doing something like
Look,
that anyway.
opportunities come, opportunities go.
Yeah.
Right. Allah puts people in your path, and you take those opportunities. And if the opportunity is no longer there, then alhamdulillah, you just carry on with what you're doing, or you move to something else.
Of course.
You know, so opportunities have come my way.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, and working with the likes of Hamza, inshallah, future world champion.
Inshallah.
Working with grassroots level, working with the community, working
Yeah.
with all of these guys. It only kind of
Kind of inspires you, innit, bro?
inspires
to move on,
you.
bigger and better
It
things.
wants you to keep moving, and
Yeah.
it just the icing on the cake was that event you guys came to about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I was
You know?
literally just going to say that as
So
well.
let's
that-
move on to
yeah.
that now, bro. We move on to that event that you had. Obviously, for people that don't know, we put the link in the description with some links to the event. That event was something that we discussed internally, and I think the outcome of the event was absolutely amazing, bro.
Loved
Honestly,
it.
We weren't
when I
even
was
thinking
calling
of it to
you-
be
we
that
didn't,
big,
bro.
no.
And even when I look back at it now, I'm thinking to get like 15 to 20 boxers, professional boxers,
And
all of
coaches,
you.
and
yeah,
coaches,
and
yeah.
coaches,
Yeah.
and shout out to everyone that attended the event,
Definitely.
bro. To pull off such an event,
Yeah.
honestly, you absolutely nailed it.
No,
you
alhamdulillah. Do you
nailed
know-
it, bro.
Do you know what it was? And I even spoke to you at the time, because the mosque they have a youth club in Mangla, Pakistan.
Yep.
Part of their kind of welfare work that they do around the world. And I just wanted to do something. I thought I got a spot where I can give something back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of charity and whatnot. So let's see what I can do, and started planning it, started reaching out to fighters, ones that I know personally. But what was beautiful about it was I was reaching out to fighters who I didn't know really well.
Yeah, yeah, of
Who
course,
I
yeah.
just will follow on Instagram and say, well done, bro.
Yeah, of
Great
course,
work.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Them ones.
Yeah.
That respect that you've got with that individual. And I think I must have reached out to about 25 fighters and coaches. All 25 said yes.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Amazing.
All 25 said yes.
Yeah.
And I
That's
thought,
amazing.
Well, and
Yeah.
and I know that's hard, because they might have fight commitments,
course,
camps,
yeah.
and all of that. So
Yeah.
they can't be like, some of them are coming outside of London as well. I had a few cancellations on the day, 5-6, but that was because, bro, I've just got a fight announcement. I got a date. I'm going abroad. I'm in camp.
That's fair
Yeah,
enough,
no,
man.
of
Yeah.
course. My commitment.
So stuff like that, you think, you
Yeah.
know what, your intention was there.
Yeah,
Allah's going to
100%.
reward you for that intention anyway.
Inshallah,
So, we had, and the sponsors we had were amazing.
Yeah.
We had, who's Podghost, by
Come
the
on,
way?
brother.
Yeah,
Just saw some ghost on the wall. I thought, what's that?
that is the ghost.
put that
brother.
on there accidentally.
It's always
Yeah.
watching over you, man.
I thought, what's that on there? I think the I went to him, I go, why you put that on there? I go, it looks
Thanks
alright.
for coming on the show, Sully. Yeah.
At that point, guys, we are going to kick him off. So
no.
on a level, we
Yeah.
want to be a part of the event.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
when
yeah,
you
man, it was
pitched
amazing.
when you pitched it to me, I thought, you know what, Suli, away from everything, I thought, what an amazing idea, what a refreshing idea. Because I think, me being in the industry, and I see a lot of people that just, kind of live for themselves, really.
Yeah.
Just trying to live on their own hype and live off their own, their own vibe. And when you want to do that, again, I've already said before, you've always been a man of the community.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But to get 20 very talented boxers to come down and share that experience with the kids. I remember the look of the kids' faces. Like some of the kids were like, they were shocked, you know, like seeing these boxers and they're like, whoa, like, you know, people coming from all across the UK, bro. And it was all down to you because I think you built that respect for yourself, which you're never going to say yourself. And I know I'm bigging him up, but it's the truth. Like, it's not something that you like saying about yourself, but it's you're the guy behind it all. People come for you. It isn't necessarily for even what you believe in. They come for you thinking, that's why you said 25 people said we're going to turn up out of 25. That's a Man City ratio, do you know what I mean?
More respect to it as well, because once you went into the pro game, you're still thinking back about your community.
That's what I mean,
You don't feel like you've just gone clear and forget everything where you came from and whatnot.
No.
Yeah.
You gotta. You know what it is, bro. Do you know when someone gives you an opportunity in life and then you're doing really well?
Yeah.
Don't ignore them. Don't look down on them, and don't forget them, because they're the people. They're the du'as. We spoke about du'as and how important their du'as, you know. And the masjid, I have to say, they've just been like gold. No, I don't know how to, you can't describe. I can't put it into words.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I never thought to myself I'll be associated very closely with like even mosques in general. Do you know what I mean? It's like you go there, play Juman, you go home.
That's it.
But it just shows you when you put in the work and then you see the work that they're doing, it's mad. It's you know, they gave me a platform and it was amazing. And look, we had coverage. We had over 100 people turn up, all ages, from kids to adults. We had the fighters, we had the sponsors, we had the BBC turn up.
Yeah,
we had a good. I thought it would be like a 30-second spread. Yeah. But big up BBC who came down as well.
Big up BBC.
It was they gave me about a 3-minute slot.
3 minutes, yeah.
And it was a very good. People saw it. They thought, you know what, amazing, great work. The feedback's been amazing. We raised over £3,000 for the Mangala Youth Club. Job well done. And even the fighters are now saying, Suli, when's the next one? So inshallah, don't worry, we'll do another one.
I was even speaking to my boy who attended it.
Yeah.
Bilal Ali, yeah.
Big up Bilal, man.
And he,
top boy.
when he was doing some of the pad works, obviously it was a bit weird for me to see him with the pads on, because I've always seen him on the other side.
He was alright, though, wasn't he?
He was alright, yeah, he was good. He was sweating as well.
fighter,
Yeah. But the talent that I saw from the youth, unbelievable, honestly. And then I come over to obviously the baddest on the planet, and when it coming back to what you were saying, the speed combination things, I can't remember who you was fighting with. I remember the guy's name, but I don't want to say it wrong. But you done the combination with him. I think it lasted like 60 seconds. On the day, don't you remember that time?
Okay.
I was recording you in that.
Right,
and you were tensing up because obviously you wanted to look good in that. But the way he was doing
With the baby oil on his arms.
Yeah.
Extra small t-shirt.
No, but in general, just saying, like, obviously, I just wanted to say, like, you're a sick coach as well, because at the end of the day, from what I've seen, what the youths were showing on the day.
Of course, bro. I know exactly.
Unbelievable.
You were just impressed with the talent and the way they communicate. I think, you know...
Some of them were coming up to me saying that, I'm 13 years old. I was like, what?
But you know what you notice, even with the fighters, you had a few amateur fighters there,
right?
And they were, I think, one of them, Hamza, his name is, he just recently got chosen by Team GB. So again, he's elite amateur level.
Of course.
You had pro fighters there there were pro fighters there that are with Sky Sports, that are with BT Sport, that are with DAZN as well. But then you had small hall show fighters that were there. So for me, it's not about going up and getting the elite fighters who are there. It's about everyone, bro, because you know what it is. When the thing is with the boxing industry as well, alhamdulillah, there's a lot of Muslims coming through at all levels, and we need to stay united. We need to encourage each other. We need to help each other, and we need to big each other up. Because if we don't big each other up, then no one else will. And then we've got, mashallah, a very strong community that will support us. So I think that was what I wanted to do. Main aim was to raise money for charity. I wanted the young people to have exposure and be around professional fighters and coaches. And I wanted all the coaches and the fighters that were there to be united, to know, because some of them obviously haven't met each other. So just like, you know, just bounce off each other. That's what it was. So I think all in all, inshallah, I think we ticked all the boxes as well.
Alhamdulillah,
It was brilliant. It was just amazing to see the whole community, bro, get together. Because it's a community thing, regardless of what you believe in or who you like, who you don't like. We are one community. And pushing together will always be more, you make more noise that way. And, you know, that's why I think the whole industry, the whole boxing in general, the amount of South Asian people that are coming through now, there's so many now. Like every week I see someone new, and mashallah, I see like, oh, he's this, he's that, and it's just refreshing to see, bro. You now planting that seed for all the new youth, especially in the area you're in. It's just really, really, really good to see, bro.
Even my kids, they were there. My son, 9-year-old, he's he loves boxing now, So he was there, and he was like training. He loved it.
Yeah.
My nephews were there. My daughter was there. They were all training.
Your daughter won the competition,
She held a plank for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Bro,
what's
how
going
did
on
she
here?
hold a plank for 3.5 minutes?
I had to look under.
You can't even do that. And that's not even me messing
I just
around.
heard the noise, brother, and everyone saying, "Come on!" I looked at her. I go, what are you doing down there? She goes, 3.5 minutes,
And she was
standing
against
there, she's
the
doing that.
grown up. No, he wasn't.
He was
grown,
about 12, 13 or
12,
something.
13,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a big, healthy,
Big,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's so you just mentioned your little boy.
My boy, yeah.
If he goes to you that Dad, I want to do boxing, right? What would your
I'll say, I'll show you an uppercut. Yeah, and tell
me
let me know if it hurts.
No, on the real. What would your initial reaction be? Like, I know with because I speak to a lot of parents whose kids are doing boxing, and they go, look, it's all right for fun, but they're not gonna become professional. There's no way I'm letting my son or daughter get in that ring. How would you honestly react, bro, if he said, I want to be a fighter? Knowing how dangerous the sport is.
Yeah, I mean, my mum is one of those mums. That was like, oi, no way.
Yeah.
I remember I put on my WhatsApp status, I was only body sparring,
Yeah.
The guy was about 100 kilos, but it was just body sparring at the club.
Yeah.
I put it on my status. My mum called me up. This and that. You know, and I was like, Mum.
But what does Kutida Puta like?
Kutida Puta. Yeah, you put it on your status.
That's going to be the caption. Guess what this means?
Kutida Puta. That's what they
So
call
what
it.
does that mean, Suli, for people that don't obviously we didn't understand that?
I'm sure they can do a bit of homework.
Yeah.
Bit of homework.
You see that? Look, he's even teaching them even
That's
that.
it.
That's
Get the Urdu dictionary out.
That's it.
Job done. Not Oxford, because you won't find it in there. But like my son, since he's been into the whole boxing, I tell you, he comes every Saturday. He comes to the classes with me without fail.
Yeah.
Right. And he would train. He was training, but he didn't. After training, that was it. He'll switch off, do what any other 9-year-old kid would do.
Yeah.
Or he was 6 at the time, or 7. This was before COVID.
Yeah.
So then I didn't really push him. I'm not one to push. I thought if he naturally kind of comes across and wants to do it, great. COVID happened, everyone's in lockdown.
Yep.
He comes up to me, Dad, I want to do pads. I was like, all right, cool. Started doing pads with him. So literally we were locked down for nearly a year and whatever.
Yeah, I think I saw it on your
I
story.
was literally just training him at home.
Yeah,
and
that's
bro,
it.
he just started developing mad.
Yeah.
While at home, just training. Now he's just on it.
Smashed it.
To a point where he would be on YouTube,
and
he'll be watching stuff like Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, you know, all of these old school black and white videos. He goes, Dad, I like these fighters better than the new ones.
He's found a love for it,
Yeah, he's found a love for it.
Yeah.
He goes to his mum, you know, why are they lying, Dad? He goes, yeah, Mum, I'm going to be a boxer. She's like, no, you're not. He goes, yeah, I am. I'm going to be a fighter. I said, listen, calm down, yeah? I said, calm down.
Yeah.
I said, you already know. I said, when you spar,
yeah,
when you get punched in the face, then tell me how it feels.
Yeah, exactly.
If you still want to fight, then obviously we go, all right, cool, he likes to get hit, he wants to give it back, oh, great. But as soon as you get punched in the nose and you're like, your gloves
Dazed.
go back in the bag and I send it back to Sports Direct. Yeah.
Receipt was still there.
Yeah. I'm going to give the gum shield, take it out his mouth and give it back on the counter. I say, you don't want to do it anymore. then you can, whatever.
Yeah.
But let's just see how it goes. But I said to him, obviously, we always push the education side of it.
100%.
Because you look at people like Joshua Buatsi, who's got a degree.
Yeah.
He was an Olympian as well, silver medalist, I believe, right? Or bronze, right? You got Richard Riakporhe, right? He's going to have a world title shot soon. He's got a degree.
Mad,
the Klitschko brothers.
Doctors, mate.
Doctors.
Like me.
Dr. Stillhammer, they call them, right? Was that their nicknames?
Yeah.
There you go. So
they all got education behind them.
So what I'm saying is, I can tell him, I do tell him, look, he's pro, but he's got education. He's a pro, he's got education. So, you've got to find that balance. You've got to work hard and be dedicated to it. But if he wants to, let's just see, innit? Let's just see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not one to push.
But you wouldn't say no to him either, though.
I wouldn't say no.
No.
I think my wife would obviously disagree.
I think I'd go against you. I think you're deep down, you'd say no. Knowing you, I don't think you would.
No, he'd put him in the ring with the strongest guy and make him feel like, yeah, nah, you know what, Dad, this is not for me.
My son, like, he's not doing full sparring, but he's doing body sparring with, he's 9, and he's like a stick. But he's body sparring like 10, 11-year-olds. Wow. And he's doing all right. Just body sparring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? He's body sparring. And when he gets hit, I can tell by his face he's got hit. Yeah. But he just goes in. He don't care. He just wants... So he's got that bit of aggression. The heart in it, that aggression inside 100%. Of him. Yeah. So it's good to work with him as well. But alhamdulillah, even on that side, his school has improved. His schoolwork's improved a lot. His confidence in school has the teachers have said, I don't know what you've been doing with him, but he's always got his hands up. He's talkative a lot more because he's very quiet in school. But during the boxing and all of that, he's just come out of his shell. He's a bit of a class clown, a bit like his dad now. He's a bit of a joker nowadays. We've got to rein him in a bit. But he's all right. Alhamdulillah, he's good.
Alhamdulillah, man.
You see, Suli, with me and Seff here, there's one topic that we always like covering. And it don't matter what industry you're in or what field you're in, right? And the topic's mental health.
Yeah.
And we always want our podcast to be a bit educational as well. And we always like hearing views from people like yourself. Do you reckon getting into the sport, or just getting your energy out, getting it out of your system, punching bags or whatever it may be, do you reckon that helps with mental health?
100%.
Because you just brought up your son going to school and he's become like a real man now. He feels good about himself.
Confident, yeah.
Do you reckon that plays a big part in mental health, becoming like, getting that energy out, getting active?
Like you said, coming out of your shell.
Yeah. Do you reckon that's something that actually exists?
COVID proved that, didn't it? When people were in lockdown, how depressed did people get? There was stories of people committing suicide because they couldn't see friends or family or exercise or train. Yeah.
Training was a big one. Right. Carry on, bro. Sorry.
And they gave like 1 hour. That's 1 hour to go to the park or go for a walk and stuff like that. And that 1 hour was like gold for a lot of people. And boxing, it does. And I've had people come to me and say, do you know what? Even if they just come in and just recreational, just want to come and hit bags and train and stuff, they go, bro, it's amazing. My mental health, I'm stressed, I've got this going on, I've got that going on. But when I'm here at the boxing club and I'm just hitting bags, he goes, it's the best feeling I can ever have. And there's been parents that have come and said, my son, his whole mindset is so much more confident. He's comes a bit more out of his shell. Yeah. So I know sport in general, but boxing especially, has a positive impact on people's mental health and also stress and people who have maybe anger management issues as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger, I had a few anger management issues. I used to be angry. Yeah. Over stupid things. Yeah. You know what? And I used to just punch walls. Yeah. You know what I mean? There was like a hole in the wall or in the door or something.
Yeah. This is real talk though. It's the truth.
No, but it's true. Exactly. It's true. You have that pent up aggression, innit? Even when you're young, you're angry at something. It could be something so, if you think about it now, it could be something so stupid, what you think is stupid. But
at the time, it wound you up.
At the time, it wounds you up. It could be even a small thing like your parents saying no to you.
That's it.
And you get peed off. Yeah. Why are they saying no to you? And then you walk off and you just punch something. And the next minute your dad's chasing you up the stairs and he's finishing you off. And then you're not punching walls for about a week.
Jackknife in your head, mate.
You're not punching walls for for about a week or so. Because you know what's going to happen. But it does play a huge part with your mental health. And mental health is real, man. It's very real. I mean, I've personally experienced it as well. Okay. When I got married at the time, when I was married at the time.
So before you start that was going to be the next. Yeah, man. I plotted you in that really well. That was a little manoeuvre.
Good move.
Because I remember there was a time when you went through an extremely rough patch, bro. Yeah. Like a very rough patch. And I'm going to be honest I did actually ask you prior to this interview if you wanted to speak about it. Yeah. So when people say, openly about podcasts, this particular topic, I did ask you myself. And you said, look, I'd love to share my story because it might help someone, even if it changes one person or even helps one person. I would like for you to go into that, because you did say, you don't mind talking about it. But I believe, there's a side of you that people don't see. Yeah. Right? They always see this really mean looking, with the beard, the body,
Thank you.
You're a
macho.
all the steroids and stuff like that. Well, I mean, you're very people look at you and think, and for the
they feel a bit intimidated, don't they?
Yeah, because you're a boxing coach and you do have a no nonsense sort of mentality, especially when you're training. Yeah. Like I've been in the ring with you training, and I hated you for about a day or two. Good. But there is a side to you, bro, that's very emotional and very it's like you box a lot of stuff in.
Yeah.
But I believe the experiences you've had growing up played a big part in that. And then the most important question, obviously, I'm going to is when you got married.
Yeah.
You know, that time of your life was very testing.
It was, look, you know me for I have banter, I have jokes, yeah. I've been
absolutely hilarious.
Especially
off
and
camera.
people will know me, who know me really well know that, you know, what I'm like. But at the same time, I am a very emotional guy. I am. I don't really talk too much about stuff like that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you just crack on with it. And I think this is what we're going back to. Don't we talk about like mental health and stuff like that?
That's it.
It's just
because
like,
Hamza said that as well, innit?
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Absolutely.
We feel like we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, you just feel like you don't need to. Like, you know, it's part of your culture.
That's it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's part of your identity or where you're from.
Pakistania.
Our parents, absolutely. Our parents didn't, or my father wasn't, you know, didn't show that emotion. Like, he was just raw, innit? Just go to work, come back, crack on. But I'm sure deep down, like, there must have been something in him where, you know, he had his moments.
Of course.
Maybe by himself,
everyone
not in
goes
front of
through
us.
things.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when I got married, you know, my wife was living with me at home. Obviously, like, with the Pakistani tradition is, you know, the youngest son stays at home. And to be honest with you, it just wasn't working. Not so much, obviously, with me and the missus, but obviously you can't have a queen.
100%.
And this is from experience, yeah? So those of you getting married, this is good advice.
Yeah.
My opinion is you can't have a queen and your princess living under one roof.
Yeah.
You understand?
100%.
Because they all set in their ways.
Yeah.
They all want something slightly different. You know, even the smallest things of how something might look. You might have it set one way, you come back and it's set another way. And it's like, why was this move like? You know, all of these kind of things. So, you know, there was a lot of that going on. And being the son and being the husband, you're in the middle, bro.
100%.
That's the worst position to ever be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got to keep both parties happy. How do you do that?
Yeah. It's hard.
How do you do that?
You can't.
You know, it's very, very difficult. And it's very straining, very emotional. Like, you're going into work, you're trying to focus in work, but on the back of your head, you know, shit, you know, this has happened and that's happened. They're not getting on.
Yeah.
Who am I supposed to listen to? Who's, you know, saying what? Who do you believe? It's so much going on, bro. And for me, it just done my head in. It's just like, it's really, really difficult. And it came to a point, even when I was married, you know, my wife left me a couple of times to go and live back with her mum because things weren't just working out, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I'll be real with you. This was like not even a year into marriage. This was like maybe 6-7 months in, if that.
Yeah, still early.
By I think it was like a few weeks before my 1 year anniversary, we left the house. We had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would I say we had to leave, or we were kicked out, or she had to go? If she had to go, then I was like, I'll have to go as well.
Of course, yeah.
Because you know what it is with us, I think, and this is learning experience that I've learned, you know, I always try to please my parents.
Yeah.
But you need to understand is that, guys, when you're getting married, it's not always about your parents, right? You've got a wife who has her rights and her responsibilities. The mum also has their rights and responsibilities. You're in the middle, so it's very difficult.
You have to balance
right?
it,
Yeah.
So
Two different types of loves, isn't it?
Yeah, bro, it was just hard. And I tried to, like, you know, I was seeking advice from imams and they were coming back and telling me things. And then I was like, do you know what? And in those moments, I felt at ease because every time I ask a question, how do I solve this? He would answer it in like 2 seconds. But it will be an Islamic perspective.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And for me, it made sense. Mm-hmm. But then when you've got Islam and you've got the culture
clashing, yeah,
it's a bit too much.
100%.
Yeah. So, you know, for you know, I might have the same situation with my kids because of my generation, the way I'm brought up, and then how it be with the kids and vice versa. So it just came to a point where, you know, we just left. We moved out. I didn't have a place to go to. Wow. I didn't have a house. I didn't have nowhere. I didn't have money. I didn't have nothing in it.
Yeah.
Like literally, it was just a couple of bin liners with clothes, couple of boxes with, I don't know, I think I had Islamic DVDs and stuff like that. I don't know, you're just putting anything in, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it was just like, cool. So who was it? I think it was my cousin came down or something. I phoned up a few people up. I was like, where am I going to go? Type thing. Do you know what I mean? And I just said to my mum before I left her, and I still remember this. I said, Mum, listen, I love you. Yeah. But I can't keep doing this in the sense that she can't always be going off and leaving and I'm just sitting at home. And then she can come. It don't work like that. Yeah. I try to do as much as I can, but at the end of the day, she's my wife, right? Yeah. And I need it to work. 100%. It has to work. I can't just, for example, leave her because you think she's not right. Because the issue is between you. It's not with me and her. We're calm.
It's like you said, you're in the middle.
You know, and I'll be honest with you, bro. Any other woman, any other girl, you know, we didn't have kids. We're not even married a year. They would have said, you know what? And excuse my language, you know what? Yeah. I don't need this. Like, we're not even got kids. Yeah. Why do I need this headache? And I know it was impacting her a lot. I could see it. Yeah. It was impacting her a lot. And, you know, even till this day, I think about it, and she might not think that I do, but you know, we talk about it, but it's just one of them issues where you don't really talk about it, just everything. Yeah. But even till this day, do you know what? I got so much love and respect for her. I love her so much in the sense that she could have just said, Suli, do you know what? Laters, I'm gone.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro.
She could have, well, she did. You know, she could have left. But we had to fight.
She left the house, not you.
Yeah, she left the house to the situation and whatnot. But we ended up renting the place, or not even rent. My friend gave me a flat that weren't even being used, right? Right. And it didn't have gas, it didn't have heating, it didn't have anything. Wow. I remember we were working as well. Yeah. So we had clothes in our bag. We went into this flat, right? Obviously, don't know who slept on the beds and whatnot. It's just like, what the what is this? Yeah. Wanted to have a shower. No word of a lie. There was no hot water. Oh. Yeah. And when you open the tap full, it was like not even, you know, like when it's just like, it takes you about 45 minutes, yeah, to fill up a bucket of water. And you're standing there, and then you got like soap, and you're just like this, and you're thinking, what the going on? I was having a nice hot shower the other day.
Can't even fill up a lota.
Bro, you couldn't. You couldn't.
Oh, that's hard, man.
No, honestly. But I laugh at it now, but when I think about it, bro, imagine a situation. And then a couple of days later, staying there, I remember my missus took the day off work and she brought some plates and she brought some mugs and she brought some knives and forks. And I was like, is this real? Like, is this the way life is going to be now? It's like, are we now, we have to start again and like we have to build everything ourselves now. So that was hard, and our anniversary was like that. That was our 1 year, it ended like that. It was like that situation we were in, you know, and then we had to rent, and we must have moved to like 3 or 4 different houses, flats, 6 months, or see you later, gotta go. 6 months here, see you later, gotta go. 6 months here, see you later. So it was just like so difficult. And think about this as well then. My wife's now, obviously, she's expecting her first child as well. So we're renting in some shithole. Yeah. We're renting. She's given birth. We've got a baby girl now. She's not working. I'm the only provider, you know. At the same time, I was still giving money to mum and dad and stuff to pay bills and stuff there. Yeah. And then it's like, how can I do that? That got me into credit cards. That got me into this and that. But I was buying shopping on credit cards. Yeah.
So you're basically living in debt.
Living in debt. I spent I think 10 quid. I bought a pair of clippers and asked these lot, back in the days, what was my haircut? It was just bald head. Skin. Because I couldn't even go get a haircut, bruv. I used to just cut my own hair. That's how bad it was. I used to just cut my own hair, and alhamdulillah, it's all right now. Yeah. It's all right now.
Nice fade.
You had that tune from Central London there.
100. The Dial, Lake Street. Yeah. But do you know what? Alhamdulillah. Do you know what?
You've come a long way, man.
Bruv, do you know what? Do you know what it is with, as well? And this is a good advice for you youngsters that want to get married, yeah? Don't look at you can sneak off behind your mum and dad's back, you know, drive your finance purchase vehicles, go and eat and drink at the most expensive Nusrat and all of this place, yeah? When you get married, watch.
So you made Nusrat sound like he was Pakistani. I'm just saying.
Nusrat. Is that all right?
Fateh Ali
Nusret.
Khan.
Fatty Ali.
I got about carry on, my
But-
bro. Sorry, he just what he said.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, with
No, you're right, yeah.
what it is, you can all hide, and you're only going to see your girlfriend or your boyfriend when they're all garmed up and stuff like that. Wake up in the morning and see how they look. I'm not saying they're going to look horrendous. It's a different vibe.
Yeah, of course.
You know, when they know you're sleeping in the same bed together, you're sharing the same house, you notice each other's
Good and bad.
good
Yeah,
habits,
everything,
bad
yeah.
habits.
Yep.
You know, all of these things. You're going to be like, someone will be like, do you know what? What's all that about? I didn't know. When you have, and hopefully you don't, yeah, but when you have these struggles and you can't provide the latest garms
Yeah.
or the latest clothes or the designers or go out on holidays every 6 months,
Yeah.
and then you start having a hissy fit, oh, you can't provide for me, this and that, see you later, I'm gone. Yeah? What's all that about?
It's one thing.
This is-
that's
this
one
is-
thing. Yeah.
this
I
is
always
where
turn around
it's-
and say that as well. That start as you means to go on. Don't start like how you said. Start providing them with. Look, give them what they want. You should treat your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend.
No,
Whatever.
bro, that's thing, yeah?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you like someone,
Yeah.
get married. Bro,
Yeah,
I
100%.
met my wife, through work. I spoke to her for 2 weeks, and then I spoke to my mum at the time. God rest his soul, yeah, he's passed away. But I spoke to him because he was the only one I could relate, like speak to.
Yeah.
So I showed him like the traditional, look, I've got someone here that he spoke to my mum and dad. Mum and dad were like, whatever, and then it happened. A year later, it happened. But the bottom line is, my intentions were clear, bro.
From 2 weeks
like,
on, yeah.
I'm not into all of this. I don't want to go out with you like that and whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe because I never had the money anyway. But I'm just saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, of
like,
course,
I don't want to live like that. Like, I've known friends who've gone out for years and they got married. It's ended in a month. You know what I'm
What do
saying?
you put that down to?
Exactly what I was saying. Commitment, lifestyle. It's a whole, marriage is a different ball game, bro. It's you have to have that understanding with each other, and the difficult times, that's the times that's going to make or break you.
Yeah.
That's true love. You know what I'm saying? That's true love. You know, like you can say, I know I've said it to my, like back then you go say, yeah, I love you, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're married and then you say, I love you, it's different
real,
because
man.
Yeah.
because it's pure. You know, there's like, if you've got nothing and you're still together and she's still with you and, she understands and she's working as hard as you are and she puts 100% more, I would say she puts in more than what I do. Yeah, I might be out there doing my thing, but just remember what she's doing as well. You know what I'm saying? That goes to like
100%.
all the mums as well, who've got kids to bring up as well. So alhamdulillah, like, I wouldn't have asked for someone as amazing as her. She's a beautiful mum.
Allah bless her, my brother.
Yeah, she works hard. She's, she does so much. I've got nothing but love for her and stuff like that. So yeah, she must be sitting here next to me now while we're watching this thinking, you chat so much shit. But
that's why I had
It's
to
the
ask you,
truth.
bro. And thanks for sharing that, bro. Because
Yeah,
it's the
we
truth.
tried to stay. When you even speak and you stay strong about it, I realize it's actually very motivating, bro. For people who
100%.
that is the living proof of a woman who sticks by her husband sticks by her.
Yeah.
That anything, if Allah puts you together, you can overcome any problem.
100%.
I'm sure, you're a married man yourself, I'm married myself, and we're mashallah happily married.
Alhamdulillah.
The one thing I always speak about to my partner as well, I always say, you know what? Every situation has a cure. It's how you deal with it.
Yeah.
A lot of people like taking the exit plan. You know what? Leave you. I don't care if I've got kids, whatever. I'm not cussing anyone. I'm not saying that everyone's situation. I'm not saying you're a quitter or anything.
And like we said before, everyone's situation is
It's
different and how they deal
exactly,
with it. Yeah,
and even like even your capacity of how much you can take.
Yeah.
Sometimes a man, he can't take a lot. Some men are made stronger. Some women are made stronger. But that's why it was really very very nice for you to share that, bro. Because even listening to it now, Suli, I think, bloody, did you come that far?
Yeah.
It also
Bloody
shows
hell.
other people that you're not the only ones going through it.
Bro, do you know what it
Everyone
is?
does go through it.
The thing is, it's very mentally draining.
Yeah.
Even like there's stuff that I've mostly not even mentioned or missed out.
Yeah.
Not unintentionally and stuff, but it's so mentally draining, right? And it's very difficult sometimes. Like even when you're talking about it, it does bring back memories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, I'm here. and through the adversity, this is where the boxing came into it. You know what I'm saying? This is how come back full circle. Boxing got me back into sport.
Yeah.
Took me to the avenue of boxing as well. And that's it. And I think all the pain, all the mental,
stress.
I get
all
of that is
I
just
feel
all
that.
in one, and you're just literally just now. It's just you're putting all of that negative energy
Into
out
something
into
positive.
something so positive.
Brilliant.
So
Because
yeah,
you just brought up, obviously, bro, the boxing again.
yeah.
Before we end the show,
Go on.
there is a big fight coming up.
Yeah. Does that mean you?
Nah, I knocked you out
Sparked.
2 weeks ago, but you knocked out.
Sparked.
He just came out of hospital. You just don't know.
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
And why do you put me off, right? So, bro, obviously you got Chris Eubank Jr. and
Yeah.
he's fighting
Ooh,
Conor
yeah.
Benn, who's a very, very good friend of yours.
Yeah.
And I know you're really close to his camp and everything. How do you see that fight going, bro? And you've got to be honest.
I wouldn't say. Look, I've met Conor a few times. I wouldn't say I'm not close, but I've met him through mutual friend, and
Yeah, of course.
We've spoke about fight after he had a
Probably shared roti together a few times. and that.
yeah. But I'll be honest with you, I'm going to go with Conor. Obviously, he's representing, innit? So got to go with Conor. It will be a challenging fight, and I think it's you know what it is. If it was any other fighter, right, at that weight, or the catch weight that they're fighting at, I would have, and I still would have, and I'm still going with Conor.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a very emotional fight as well. And looking at the way Conor fights, he's raw.
He just looks like an animal, innit?
Yeah, but he fights off raw emotion
That's
as
what I
well.
mean, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that, as well as a game plan, obviously,
Of course,
I
yeah.
think he's going to be up for it 100%. Like, you see Eubank now, he's eating buckets of KFC and he goes, look, making that weight is easy. I only need to be 60% when I fight Conor. All right, if that's what you think, then great. Good luck. But I think it's going to be an amazing fight.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Conor.
Bro, same here, man. You know what? We're all team Conor as well, man.
Yeah.
It will be a very tough fight.
Yeah, it
But I
will
just think Conor's hunger, bruv. The way Conor is at the minute.
Yeah, that's what
I wouldn't want to go anywhere near him.
But I saw his
No,
last
he's just
fight as
he's
well.
just a bruv. He's an absolute professional.
Yep.
He trains every single day. Always in shape, always ready to go. And obviously speaking to like mutual friends, they're always telling me like he ran from here to there in like X minute. His fitness is this, his power is this, and all sorts of stuff. And you see it. And I remember when he came to the boxing club, this was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And he was still just turned over pro, and he's had a few fights. Even when he started hitting the bags then in front of me, I was like, wow,
Explosive.
man. I got the power he's generating in those punches. Ooh.
It's crazy because when you meet Conor outside the ring, I've met Conor a few times. Such a lovely person, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so down to earth, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Down to earth. Do you know what? He's very mature for his age as well, man.
Yeah, man.
Very mature, conducts himself really well, very well spoken, approachable, all of that. So I was like, he's a good lad, man. He's a
Even when I
good
met him,
kid.
yeah,
And
approachable.
this
Because
is
I asked him a few tips, innit? I was like, how do you lose weight and that? Like, mate, just go running on the beach. I was
You
like,
ain't doing
everyone
that.
says the same
Well,
thing,
you ain't
bro.
done much about it, mate.
I ain't running at all.
what weight do you want to lose? Huh? What weight do you want to
A
lose?
few chubby bits.
Just cut your ponytail off. You'll be all right. You lose about 10 stone.
Bro, we ended on the whole fight. As long as both fighters finish the fight healthy and safe.
Definitely, yeah.
There's got to be a winner and a loser. And at this point, Suli, you're a loser because we're going to cut the podcast off.
Your loss, mate. Your loss.
Bro,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
I know you're a million miles away on that table, but... So, Suli, thank you again for coming down.
Thanks, bro.
And we
Appreciate
really appreciate it. So, we are going to be calling you back on in about a couple of years.
Yeah.
Inshallah, we stay
Inshallah.
healthy
Part
and
two.
fit in that time.
Don't worry, it won't be
Part
5 years. It'll be. Give me a year.
Yeah,
Give me a
100%, yeah.
Inshallah.
So yes, guys, that is the end of another amazing podcast. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
it was
same,
really,
yeah, I
It was
like
really
that, man.
real, wasn't it? It was really
100%, yeah.
covering so many topics. So if you liked what you saw, guys, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And hit the bell notification so you don't miss none of our uploads.
Peace out.
Nearly lost my words there.
We're gone. Later.